Thank you, Rachel. So good evening, everybody again. I'm talking now not so much from the biological world, but more from a company and the technological world. But you will see there's a relationship. We're also working on the topic of climate change, and digitalization is a big tool today also to fight climate change. Yeah, I'll start a bit with my story. I was asked to tell a little bit about my motivation. How did I get in this field? So looking back some 30 years ago, as a young man, I was really into sports. I was a lot outside. And I realized when I was at the age of 17, I was an exchange student in the United States, in Los Angeles. I experienced there was smoke. And I suddenly experienced, all the fun we had as young kids is somehow limited because there's too many of us. We're all driving to school with cars. So there's limitations, it's not like we can go on forever, have fun forever. There's limitations. So I decided at the age of 19 then to go to ETH, do environmental studies, environmental sciences. And after some experience in different fields like waste management or noise reduction, I decided to work in environmental management and joined Swisscom some time ago. And there I could actually help to build up sustainability engagement in Swisscom from the start. We were the first company certifying in ISO 14000, the environmental management system, and we could build and strengthen the engagement in the last years. Maybe I tell you a little bit about what I learned on this way in Swisscom. So one thing I found out is that you definitely have to combine sustainability with business if you want to be successful in sustainability management. So find business opportunities. I wrote down, try to make the management winners, show them that they will be more successful if they are more sustainable, that they will have a better image, or they will save costs because they save energy, or they can convince customers with sustainable offers. So that's certainly one of the tricks to be successful in a company with sustainability. Another learning for me is that you have somehow to connect with one of the bigger challenge of our society. So don't get stuck on the details of your company. For instance, we in Swisscom, we have set a target of reducing Switzerland's CO2 footprint by 1%. Just from our contribution. Okay, it doesn't sound like much, 1%, but if there's more companies like us, we manage to fulfill the climate goal. And the third one, maybe, and that's a bit the fascination of my job, is it's not so much about the footprint, to reduce our footprint. That's also important. We have to optimize our buildings, our cars, buy electric cars instead of gas cars. But it's much more about the possibilities of your products. We call that the handprint. So it's the footprint and handprint. The handprint stands for the chances you have. And what are the chances of digitalization? Well, one we are a bit tired of. It's work smart, the whole work smart topic, instead of traveling. Of course, that's not much of a new story now. In this time, we would wish we could travel again, but that's certainly one of the biggest potentials to save CO2. Another one is the technology we call Internet of Things. There we have, I tell you a little story of what that can be. We have a beer company in Switzerland called Feldschlösschen, and they go with their lorries, they drive to the restaurants and fill up the tanks with their beer. But for some years now, what they're doing is they measure how much beer is left in the tank of the restaurant, and they only drive there with their lorry if it's really going to be empty. Before, they were just driving to the restaurants, on a fixed route, and they were able to save thousands of kilometers per year of lorry driving by knowing better how much is left in these tanks. It's just one of many, many examples how Internet of Things can help to optimize logistics, optimize buildings. And my favorite example of how digitalization can help in fighting climate change is a project I'm working on currently. It's called the Green Coin. What it is, it's a crypto currency which gives a value to good behavior. We have an app, it's called the Swiss Climate Challenge. And the Swiss Climate Challenge measures your mobility footprint and gives you a feedback. And if your behavior is good, you will get these green coins, and you can spend these green coins then on sustainable products. And it's something we have been testing in our company. We will roll it out with several big companies this year. And we hope actually to start a movement where people can, be rewarded for behaving good. We have the big city in Switzerland who wants to do that with their employees and later with the inhabitants of the city. So we hope with this cryptocurrency green coin to start something bigger, to give a motivation to people to save the climate. I have to look at the clock. Maybe one question I saw on my sheet was, what advice would I give to people also working in companies to strengthen your engagement? I've been in this business now for 20 years. I've had different roles. I was also 6 years the head of corporate responsibility at Swisscom. So some of my learnings are: be close to your CEO, to your management, invest more time in talking to them and understanding what moves them. We have the tendency, the sustainability people, to work on some projects and be happy, but be in contact with your management, talk to them to understand what moves them. A second advice I would give is set big targets. Really something big with a big vision. Visions really move the people. So be bold there. Don't be too shy, too small. Set big targets. And the third one, well, that's for anything you want to reach. Invest in a network and invest in a good team. If you're a bunch of people, if you're 10, 15 people working in the same direction, you can move so much. So invest in other people. Don't do it all by yourself. That's a bit my story. I hope I can maybe afterwards answer to questions and contribute to the discussion of how you can be one of the most sustainable companies in the world. Maybe that I can say, you already mentioned it, Rachel, we got 3 times last year from 3 different sources the title most sustainable telecom company in the world. So I think we've done our job quite structured, and we're far from perfect. There's many things to improve, but we haven't done everything wrong. That's for sure.